Yo, YouTube, what's up? Making a video here on how to win against RMP mirrors. It's the most fun matchup in my opinion, right now. Can't really fight something that's more fun than RMP because for one, there's no fleshcraft, so that's really cool. But anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna get into this matchup here. So basically, the opener is looking like, or actually, first I'll say the whole concept of a mirror is really just getting some type of pre-CC on the rogue and then CCing the healer and then going the rogue off of that with 3 stuns. So that's kind of like just the basic go. The cross on the mage is less important, but still kind of important. But like if you don't have cross on mage for the rogue go, it's really not like the end of the world because if you have like a CS available, then the mage he can't really like instantly peel. So really it's just pre-CC and then get CC on the priest and then kill the rogue. So we can see what happens here in the opener. Let's see. The later invis doesn't really matter. So like he didn't invis right away. I did. And then I just get combat off their priest here. When my priest, or actually I get MD, but it's the same thing. And then their mage comes out and gets combat. And now my goal here is to start damaging these shields off and for my priest to start purging these shields off as well. The reason why is because you can see the opener that we do here is my rogue kidneys the priest from stealth and then cheap shots the mage, while my priest actually thought steals the mage. The reason we do this is because it's kind of meta to trinket this first stun and then DB this rogue instantly. So you can see here, what I should have done actually is trinketed and DB this rogue. Since he cheap shotted me, he's on global cooldown. So if I trinket and DB him before he gets this off, like if I trinket as he cheap shots me, he wouldn't be able to get another ability off. So if the rogue opens you, it's actually really good for you because I can trinket this and DB the rogue. I don't do it here, but I'm just saying that's what you should do. And you can see why you should do it, as I'm not going to land this first poly. So I trinket this, lock the ring. This is why you thought steal, by the way, because since I can lock this ring, it also means that he can't just poly, because like you usually want to start with ring if you have a long time. See, he has 3 seconds left on the kidney, so he has time to like ring of frost, get kicked, and then poly, and then I can't stop the poly. The thought steal actually makes this really easy for us. So as you can see, since I can't land this first poly, we have to go in a bomb, and we don't get any trinkets. Actually, we get the mage's trinket, but mages are kind of scripted to open or to trinket the opener, sorry, like I said, and DB the rogue. So my priest gets a nice fear off. The priest wills it, and we get vanish. So it's a decent opener here. We get trinket, we get vanish, and we get will, which is not bad at all. Now they're gonna do their go. Their priest gets a nice fear, and Oz is in cheap shots. My games comes out, but they don't have a follow-up poly again because of this thought steal. So this thought steal in the opener is very crucial. So I'm starting to pre-CC this rogue. It's a bit early on my end actually. What I should have done is like rooted him first maybe, and like made it really annoying for him. Maybe the priest even would have dispelled the root, because you really want to like time your pre-sheeps closer to when this stun DR is actually going to be a little bit closer to being off. So see what happens here. I guess yes, so they're probably going to want to do a go here. The rogue duels my priest defensively, so that I can't pre him anymore. My priest gets a shadow fiend on him to make sure he's in combat. So since the rogue is going to be coming out of the duel and the rogue has no vanish, there isn't a lot that he can do to preemptively save himself here. One thing that I guess he could do is disarm Oz, but it's going to be hard coming out from a duel and not really knowing where the rogue is right away. So we get these targets CC'd for when he comes out of the duel. He comes out of the duel, and we get a nice cheap shot on him. So since I have Zaryu in a poly, I have to go for the Ring of Frost on the priest. What this basically allows to, your whole team to do is, if I were to just switch this poly, the mage would probably blink in DB or something. What this actually allows my team to do is it allows my fear to walk over, or my priest, sorry, to walk over here and fear the mage off my poly, which is pretty huge. So I get the double CC. We don't even, actually in this particular case, we have to save the fear for after, because what basically we like to do here is, since I have the full ring, he can, if this priest trinkets, we can actually just fear the trinket. So yeah, see, that's exactly what happens, is Aeghis trinkets the full ring into a full fear. So we get Rogue's Trinket Cloak as well, because that's bust. And I actually land a CS there on Zarya. That's why I said, like, cross on the mage during your go doesn't really, like, it is important, but it's not as important as the other two. So, and that's the reason why, like, you can just use CS on him most of the time. So let's see, they're doing their go here. So there's actually something to be said about this defensively, and I'm glad this happened. So as you can see, they kidney, and this is why pre-CC on the rogue is so important. The literal second that Celestia gets kidneyed, Oz vanishes. This is why you need pre-CC, because the rogue can just pre-vanish the go, and then now they have to do their entire go on me, which kind of sucks for them. Even if they get block, like, the kill most of the time is on the rogue, so it always sucks for them to have to go us. So they're going me with bust. I block, which is completely fine. I live out of this. Maledict, I should just DB that. Yep, blinking away. My priest trinkets the blind, which is good. And now I'm looking to get pre-CC on this rogue here. So I root here to stop his re-stealth. I'm trying to get another poly on this rogue, since I don't have DB. Actually, I have DB now, so I blink DB. Kind of screwed up here a little bit, because I don't think Oz knew I had a DB. So he thought that I had no pre. So he tried to stun the rogue first and then CC the priest. So that, like, if he would have just, like, tried to use blind on the priest or something without the rogue being in pre-CC, he could, like, just get disarmed or something, like I said. So he tried to do a kidney and then go in blind, which kind of made this go a little bit sloppy. You can see I'm just cranking this rogue, but we can't get anything on the priest because he used death to cover some time and then faded. So this go was kind of bad from us. Now they're doing their go. Let's see how they got it. So they just kidney. So I'm in a sheep. I didn't really have any ways to stop this poly anyways. As you can see, I have no DB and no CS. So the cross on me didn't really matter, but they stun Celestia into a poly. He PS's while he's in the stun. So Oz is in sheep shots. They're doing their go on him. Oz duels there, because I think he might have gapped the stun. I think the rogue might have gapped the stun. So I land a free poly on priest here. As you can see, the priest has no death, and the rogue is already kind of low. So I opt to, and he's coming out of a duel. So this is something I try to do a lot, is, like, if someone's in a duel, I try to, like, land CC basically as they come out of the duel. So I land a CC on the priest. The rogue's off stun DR, but in this particular case, it doesn't matter. Usually this is bad. Usually a sheep before stun DR is bad, but because the rogue has no buttons at all, it's okay. He literally can't do anything. The only thing he can do is disarm Oz, which he does, but I have big dam. Celestia has big dam, as you can see, has mind games. So I'm able to go ahead and land a repoly, but the fear is good too. I CS Mage on Arcane, so we can't CS this cast. Actually, before that, let's see. He has a kick. Oh, he kicks Celestia. Okay. So I land the free poly. He kidneys late. He's like 10%. I throw my damage a little half DB to try and kill, and he goes down. So that was just like one game. We can look at a couple. We can maybe look at one or two more just to see what happens and whatnot. So like I said, we are just trying to get these shields off. I'm still in stealth. He actually, yeah. So we're going to try to purge him up a little. So he's got no shields. We do the Thought Steal, Kidney, Cheap Shot. Classic. Do this every time. I start with a Ring of Frost. The reason I start with a Ring of Frost and not a Poly is because if the Mage Trinket locks me on Arcane, that's really bad. I'd rather get Trinket locked on Frost. It's much better. Rogue stuns me. I Trinket this to try to land the Poly. We overlap a little bit with the Poly and the Fear. It's actually okay that he went for this Fear though, because the Mage could have kicked my Poly. I just don't think he did. So let me go back and see if that's actually what happened. Yeah, so he actually couldn't have. He was in a cheap shot the whole time, but it was close, so I kind of liked the Fear anyways. And I actually like sheeping over it because he could just will this. So it's whatever. I go to bust this rogue. I DB him because Oz gets stuck in a Nova over here somehow. And then keep in mind this whole time, your priest also has poly because he thought steals. So as you can see, he's polying off my DB here, which is pretty good. So he polys Zaryu. Now we have triple cross setup. Rogues are in a duel. So the only reason we didn't force anything here is because when we stun the rogue, as you can see, I'll back it up just a little bit more. Stun the rogue. I don't know if he thought that we weren't going to get any CC off this, so I think he went to go blind or something. As you can see, my rogue start to walk away from the stun. And then he gets Nova'd and he can't restun. If that restun goes off, it's my bust. Like, this rogue is going to have to Trinket Cloak or Trinket Vanish. So a bit unfortunate, but sometimes that happens. So our cross CC is running out. They're going to want to do their go. They chastise. I root him on the chastise, so he has to dispel it. And he can't really reach my priest before the fear, but he uses a bunch of stuff to get it, like fade. So they kidney my rogue. They have a Mally. My priest is able to just will, grip, and save him. So that's really good on our end defensively. Only having to use will in the opener is pretty good. Especially when they commit like mind games and maledicts and stuff. So I'm going for the pre-CC because I see that stun DRs are off. Let's go ahead and... So one thing I'm trying to do here when I get a pre-poly is I'm trying to bait this kick, and I'm also trying to like sheep the dispel. So like he's going to be able to just dispel the poly. So I'm trying to sheep the dispel, but I noticed that Zaryu has a kick. So I'm also trying to juke that. Since I can't get it, and the rogue has been sitting in a poly for quite some time, I put a living bomb on him to stop his re-stealth. So I blink in, double DB. Unfortunately, my living bomb actually breaks the DB there. So the priest is able to just fly up in the air. So we just do a kidney bomb go. And we get cloak. I think, yeah, Oz dueled him low. So that's something that my rogue likes to do a lot, is when they get low, he likes to duel them low and attempts to duel their vanish. Because if you didn't know, in vanish, you can see the other rogue. So I'm trying to stop their go. One thing I'm doing to stop their go is actually making sure that I cast polys on Zar so that he can't poly off this. So I'm casting one more in hopes that that's going to be enough to be able to stop CC. He gets the poly. And they do another go on me because, let's see again. Let me back it up again. Back it up again. Okay, watch. They kidney Celestia with no pre-CC on Oz again. So he's able to just pre-vanish this, and now they're forced to do their whole go on me again. Which again, isn't something that they want to have to do. So I sit my block. He kidneys before my DB, as you can see here. Oz goes with the kidney before I'm able to DB the rogue, so the rogue is actually able to he's actually able to pre-duel Oz on the go, so I can't do any damage to him. So that's again like another, both teams screwed up here. They went, Oz was able to pre-vanish, we went, and the rogue was able to pre-duel, so it kind of sucked from both of us. I'm able to still get so then we have to do our go on the mage here, like they just did a go on us. We get his block, so literally both teams just did the exact same go. It's kind of funny. The rogue is so Celestia trinkets the blind, because that's kind of like, trinketing blind is always pretty okay, but I mean you can set it sometimes. We get Will. They kidney the priest, but I actually opt to sheep Zaryu here. So he's not actually going to be able to poly off of this because he's in a poly. Let's see what happens. He's going to go for the poly anyways, but since I created a gap in their stun, there was a gap between the poly and the kidney. My priest is actually able to pre-dome this, so that was good from my end, being able to create a gap like that. I'm trying to land pre-CC on this rogue. I get a nice sheep on him. Again, trying to land that re on the dispel without getting CS, so you can see me juking a lot. I CS his poly, and the priest just flies up in the air. I get locked on fire into a poly. He cheap shots. So that go was pretty bad. Now we're just trying to stop their go. Again, I'm sheeping mage when they kidney to try and stop their sheep off the kidney. I get a nice root here. I go for a ring. I fake his death by canceling the ring. He fades it, but we do get a nice pre on rogue, and we have thought steal back, which is insane. Let's see what happens. Oz has a trinket cloak there. I get another pre. One more. I tell Oz I have DB off. He blinds. Their priest trinkets. They want to do their go because they have a nice pre-sheep on Oz. I sheep Zaryu again to try to stop that poly off the kidney. Double DB, so we can't get it. So now they're doing their go, but it's scuffed, right? Because my priest is able to death that sheep right there. They get a resheep. Oz is able to vanish. I get a poly on priest here because I noticed that priest has no trinket and no guardian, and I have bust. So I wanted to just pre-sheep the priest here actually and go the priest off this. So something a little off script, but Oz unfortunately does get kidneyed or polyed when he gets gripped. So, and then after that, it's too late because they were able to peel our go. IDB to try to stop their go. He gets the ring off. They don't get a lot though, which is pretty cool. So now I think we're trying to do another priest go here. You can kill through Guardian most of the time if you have a Mind Games. So we'll see what happens. Just trying to set up this priest go. I get polyed, they get a nice go here. But since we're playing disc, we have PS while we're in stuns. So he PS's Oz this go, and that's literally the only reason he survives. Priest is trying to kite. He also uses fade. Oz gets really low. We kidney the priest. Sheep the rogue. Bust. Mind games, dead. So yeah, that was a little bit of an off script game by going priest. Usually you just want to go the rogue, but since obviously you can see on my S arena here, we all have nothing pretty much. We all have no trinkets. They have both their trinkets, and the priest has no trinkets. So if we were to just keep doing goes on the rogue, it would take us 2 more goes to win because we would have to get his trinket, and then on the next go, he would die, right? But we don't really have the time to do that because we all have no trinkets, so we're all gonna die soon if they execute their go properly. So I see a little win condition here on the priest where I'm like, okay, well we can win in 1 go if we just go the priest here because he has no trinket, and we can kill through GS because we have mind games and combust. So a little off script go that you can look for in some situations if time is running out, basically. And you can tell that time is running out because we all have no trinkets. We are pretty fucked next go. So that's going to be all for the RMP mirror. I don't know if I hope that everything made sense, and I hope that you guys actually learned something. Like I said, I'm still getting used to making these matchup guides and whatnot. So yeah, I hope I'm explaining everything thoroughly and correct. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and peace out.